Good Friday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. So happy it's Friday. It's a game weekend. We've got a huge game tomorrow night, Saturday night. Of course, it's in Norman, Oklahoma, but we'll talk about that forecast in a moment. I've got my checkerboard tie on for good reason because I think a lot of touchdowns are going to be scored, and I think it's going to be in our favor, but that's just me. That's my expectation. We've got some fog to deal with this morning. We could take a look at that full screen, a little easier. There are some areas in white, which would usually indicate some patches of dense fog. We've got 1 mile or less in Middlesboro. We could also assume it's also pretty poor in Union County, in Granger County, as well as Claiborne and maybe even Hancock County, down to 1 mile in Jonesville, and nearby in Jacksboro, it's down to about 1 mile. If you've got a weather report, maybe you're already at work and you've driven through some of this, let us know. We'd love to be able to share that with your voice. Let us know if you've had some fog this morning. Wind speeds are pretty calm. It's conducive or favorable for some fog development, but that is not going to be a big surprise. We've seen that over the last couple of mornings. But temperature right now, quite varied. 7-degree difference between Jacksboro at 59 degrees, while McGee-Tyson is at 66. So we have a temperature today, I think that's going to be generally in the valley in the upper 80s to flirting with 90. So wait a minute, I thought it was like the 20th of September. It is, but we averaged actually 4 days in September of 90 plus. We haven't had any this month so far, which we'll revisit here in a moment. But currently it's 63 in Sevierville, 58 in Crossville. Our friends in the Cumberland County area in the upper 50s as well, while it's 61 degrees currently in Madisonville. If you've got a comment, I would love to put you on the big stage here. Please put you on my big screen on this live stream. I've got Steve Stone on here. He says happy Friday, everybody. Good morning and happy Friday to you, Steve. Great to see you with your smiley face and your sunshine. Wanda Poe is on here as well. She's also noting that she has, hoping everyone has a good weekend. Looks like summer is staying around a little bit longer. Go Vols. Happy to see not only Wanda here, but our friend Lisa Steele has just popped in. She says it's a nice morning here in La Follette. She's got a nice little heart there. Thank you very much for being here, Lisa. All right, so as far as temperatures are concerned, making a run toward the upper 80s today. I don't want to kind of bury the lead. It will be a little more humid today. Evidence of that, temperatures are dew point temperatures for the most part are in the low to mid 60s in the valley. It's not as humid where you see 50. So I'm looking at 57 Wartburg, 57 at Crossville. Humidity not much of a factor there, but it might be a tad higher here in the heart of the valley from Knox County all the way down into Blount County for the most part. Tracking the clouds, not many to see here. Just a few high wispy clouds at this point, and that's all we're going to get. We're going to mostly sunny day, very warm, and no rain expected. No rain. 88 is my expectation for Newport, Del Rio, Cosby, and Parrotsville. What if you're in Wartburg or Sunbright? About 88. 88 for La Follette, where Lisa is, and 88 in Crossville, Fairfield, Glade, Athens. Our friends down there at 89. That's what I expected. 91. We could flirt with a 91 around Tellico Plains, Madisonville, and about 89 in Kingston. Now, we know there's a change of season underfoot. You're just not going to feel it, know it, or experience it this weekend. Now, as you probably remember from science class, the Earth is tilted at 23.5 degrees. We didn't do that. We didn't cause that. But anyway, that's what it's tilted. And that's what gives us the seasons. And many of you know, as I like to say, seasons greetings 4 times of the year. Why just wait for Christmas? I'll say seasons greetings usually on that 22nd, 23rd of September. We usher in what we call the autumnal equinox. And at that specific time, many of us like to say happy fall, y'all. It happens at 8:43 this Sunday. You mean this Sunday? Yeah. When it's in the low 90s? Yeah. When it's in the low 90s, we're going to say, how do you like fall so far? Yeah, you could almost make the joke when you go to church. We say, man, it doesn't feel like fall. But give it a couple of days, right? Maybe it's like on a time release, like a time release vitamin C tablet. One of those things where it's just a couple of days later, it's going to feel like fall. But not at 8:43 when you declare it, astronomically speaking, but that's when it happens. The autumnal equinox will occur at 8:43. So if you're up and out the door, maybe you're headed to church services this Sunday, the 22nd of September. The Earth's axis is neither tilted toward or away from the sun. It's kind of like in the middle. So we get technically roughly equal amounts of daylight and darkness around that date. So sometimes it's a few days earlier, some days later. But anyway, the point is the season is actually going to be changing, and I hope you're ready for it. Let's take a look at the Ultimate Doppler radar presented by your local Marco's Pizza. We have all this ground clutter. It's like the radar is going nutso. Well, actually, it's doing its job, right? It's scanning and looking for any moisture that might be occurring, and we haven't seen anything really occur in the last 8 hours, so that's what's dancing there. By the way, Marcos.com, a great place if you're making lunch plans. Maybe lunch plans today, or maybe you want to order in some food for the big game on Saturday evening. Hardin Valley and Farragut got a couple of locations there. Marcos also has a location in Maryville, Fountain City, Halls, Oak Ridge, Middlebrook Pike, and Ebenezer Road. They are a big community sponsor. They are corporate sponsors for No Kid Hungry, and I've just learned that they're now actively involved with giving back to the Children's Hospital. So we've got a lot of local ties with Marcos, and your magnificent idea for pizza could be pepperoni. It could be a deluxe pizza. But whatever it is, the Magnifico is a special for a limited time for less than $10. You can also pick up the great lunch idea, the Bozzoli. My favorite is the pepperoni and sausage. It's very filling, and it's much bigger than this picture would indicate, but you can pick one of those up for less than $6 at Marcos.com. Marcos.com. Again, Marcos is a big sponsor for Captain Accurate Weather. Nothing to see here as far as the radar. All across the state, there are heat advisories, believe it or not, in Norman, Oklahoma, at least for today. They'll be headed into the mid-90s tomorrow. So I imagine that heat advisory could be extended. So a daytime high in Norman, Oklahoma, around 96. Can you imagine? I mean, our Vol fans are going to be like, what season is this? We'll be in the low 90s this weekend, but they'll be easily in the mid-90s, I do expect, and very hot weather across Oklahoma. Meanwhile, it's quiet across the Great Lakes and the Gulf of Mexico. Not much to see here at this particular time. Let me check in with your comments. If you have a note, we'd love to say hi to you. Marilyn Bell is here. She says, I'm just hoping for some rain. And I think next week we'll have some good chances, maybe on Tuesday, Marilyn. Have a great day, she writes. And hello, everybody. And Darcy Soar is here. She's one of my premium members as well. She is making a note here that says, thanks for the science lesson. Great graphics. Happy Friday and happy weekend. My pleasure. And Danny Feedback, one of our Vol fans, never misses a moment. He won't miss a moment of that game. Even if you're not a sports fan, even if you don't follow the Vols like Danny, I know he's wishing everybody a happy morning. Good morning. Have a wonderful day and weekend. Glad to have Danny here as well. So let me keep on going. I got some other notes I want to get to in a moment, but as far as the weather, it is now 6:47. We picked up a trace. Did you know that? A trace? You know what a trace is? A trace is like come back on camera. Trace is like running. I got a trace. Can't measure it, but it rained. It rained yesterday. Can't measure it, but they had a little trace at the airport. We're now at 0.81 inches, and as far as the for the month, we hit a high of 87 yesterday. Started the day at 63. Normal high and low today is 81 and 60. So if we get to 89, we're going to be running 8 degrees above normal just this afternoon. The record high is 97. Nowhere near that. That's from 1925. The record low is 43 from 1889. So they've got some great records that go all the way back to the 1870s. Amazing stuff. But this is your yearly review here. All the numbers in the white arrows is the actual, and all the numbers in green represent what is quote-unquote normal. And normal would be a sample of what's occurred between the years 1991 and 2020. So if you like to know context, you like to know perspective, this is the place to be. Either way, we hit an only high of 68 last Tuesday. That was the coolest day since April 26th. On April 26th, what was happening then? Oh, I know what was happening. We had a high of 65 that day. So the last time we were really in the mid to upper 60s was late April. We did that on Tuesday. Very cool, but that back to 87 yesterday. Today we should be back to about 89. And if you look at the extended almanac a little more closely, it was last Saturday that we were at 89 degrees. Here's the big game against Oklahoma. I have not made any changes. My anticipation is for a daytime high around 95, 96 for Norman. Kickoff temperature around 91. Halftime, 88, 84 for fourth quarter, and the winds will be brisk. They'll be out of the southeast about 5 to 15 miles per hour. That may affect a kicking game. Don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Both teams are 3-0. Our team is number 6 in the country, which is a very cool thing. I think they should move up. And 15 is the ranking for Oklahoma. Of course, the Vols coach has a huge history with Oklahoma University program. He was a star quarterback and a national championship winner back in 2000, from what I understand. So anyway, big game. Whether you're a sports fan or not, I'm excited about that outcome. By the way, the National Hurricane Center is like watching several patches of color. I'm not too enamored with any of them, except maybe the one near the Yucatan. There's going to be some opportunities in the Gulf for more rain to occur. This is something that we visit most every day. on the premium side about potential storms that might be forming in the coming days. Our next name on the list would be Helene. She never did get used with PTC number 8, that potential tropical cyclone. Number 8 never was officially named, so it's still on the list. Isaac would follow, then Joyce and Kirk. And believe it or not, we still could move through some of those names in a month of October. Tracking the clouds, there's not a lot to see at this time. It's 6:50 right now, but the sun comes up now. How did I forget to take that rain out of there? Anyway, 7:23, no rain today. That is a typo in a graphical form. But anyway, 7:35 is when the sun will be setting this afternoon or evening. I guess it's more evening. If you feel like the days are getting shorter, it is not, I repeat, not your imagination. Here's the bus stop forecast. Out the door, in many cases in the mid-60s. By 10 o'clock, maybe recess time if teachers are so inclined in the elementary level, 73. And by the 2 to 3:30 time frame, should be well into the upper 80s. So the kids will be sweating pretty easily as they head back to the bus stop later this afternoon. So I just want to say good morning to you. The final temperature I have today will be 89, but again, that's if I'm off by a degree and we hit 90, don't be surprised. Again, I forgot to take out my rain icon there. I was so hurried to get it back onto the graphics. But here's the future smoke. Some folks are really interested in this kind of illustration. This is vertically integrated smoke. So wildfires that are either nearby or far away throughout the entire column of air. It's very light smoke in gray, but you can see the trend pushes some of that further south and east, and there may be some flare-ups in parts of Alabama that suggested that some wildfires could actually, with more wind, could spur up more in the way of moderate smoke. I want to say good morning to you. If you're on the call, Karen Robbins just popped in. She says, we made it to Friday. She says, good morning, everyone. Have a fantabulous weekend. My friend Ed is also on here having a great day, weekend. Go Vols. I'm sure he will be watching that game as well. And I got another note from Fred from earlier. He had a weather report. Let me get that on there. He said Maryville currently is clear, 65 degrees in Maryville, and he wants to say good morning to everybody. He also had noted that everyone have a safe and blessed weekend. Go Vols. Happy to have Fred on here. He watches quite a bit. And Linda Rice, how did I forget her? She's got a beautiful rose there. Good morning. Have a great weekend. Glad to see Linda here as well. All right, 6:52. My goal is to be done in 8 minutes or less. I know I can name that tune. I can name that forecast in 8 minutes or less. We've got 66 currently in Knoxville, 63 in Johnson City. Our friends in Chattanooga are even warmer. They're at 68, as is Nashville at this particular time. Dew points, if you're in yellow, in the yellow areas, it's somewhat comfortable. But where it's darker green, obviously it might be more humid. Again, there's I guess an inflection point, a little bit of yellow and green in our area. I suspect the humidity will be on the rise heading into this weekend. So take note, hazy, hot, humid weather will return. And no better way to look at that, perhaps, than our humidity tracker. Tracking the humidity, where you see the green represents dew points about 65 or higher generally. You're looking at higher dew points by midday today, and then it retreats by 5 o'clock. And then it kind of wants to come back, if not tomorrow morning, perhaps tomorrow afternoon. So if you're outside, if you're doing some lawn yard work, let's say, maybe you're raking leaves this early, certainly you're going to find the humidity a factor, and it will be hot and sticky relative to the season. Heading into Sunday, we're officially astronomically into autumn, and it's still very humid. Some of you are, it doesn't feel like fall. But as I say, wait a couple of days. By the time we hit about, say, Wednesday of next week, you'll say, it feels like fall. Well, it doesn't when the first moment actually occurs. Here are my headlines for today. Very warm sunshine today. Mostly sunny, upper 80s to near 90. It will be hotter this weekend. I have Sunday as the hottest day at 91, but if we hit 92 on Sunday, it wouldn't surprise me. Cooler air is on the horizon. Yay, some of you are like, it's about time. It'll come back. We had some comfortable weather a couple of weekends ago. It wasn't last weekend, but the weekend before, we didn't get above 78. 66, current temperature right now. We have no wind to speak of. Some of you are dealing with some fog. My best chance of rain, Marilyn Bell, I'm thinking of you, 40% comes on Tuesday. So set a reminder on your phone. Aldrich says Tuesday, the day to watch. That'll be the day where storms develop, mainly Tuesday afternoon. I don't think it's in the morning type of thing. It's kind of like with the heating of the day and some of the energy that comes down from the north and west. So a 40% chance of rain arrives Tuesday. My Valley Planner, how warm is it at noontime? Maybe you're ordering Marcos for lunch. It's 84 at noontime. It's my expectation. But clearly, we're going to be parked in the upper 80s heading into 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Man, it's warm. Did you know if you've been outside, it's pretty warm? Yep, it's like practically feels like 90. With that dew point, yeah, it'll feel like 90 degrees or higher this afternoon. Storm Prediction Center looking at some color here. The scattered severe storms in yellow, not on today's map, but it will be featured on Saturday's map in a few parts of the country. At least today, there are two distinct areas, I'll point out, two distinct areas on the today forecast. This is the patch of green in Wichita, Kansas City, and Omaha that might have some isolated severe storms. Notice that Oklahoma City is not featured in the general light green, that's the general thunderstorms, but the severe weather should be well north of Norman, well north of Oklahoma City today if someone is like traveling there today. And if you are watching, there could be some severe weather isolated in St. Louis, back toward Fort Wayne. Nothing going on in Middle or East Tennessee. Things look pretty quiet. I have 0 chance of rain here on Friday. But as far as Saturday, there is some yellow. Yellow would be scattered severe storms mainly west of Lubbock. Amarillo, Lubbock could find some isolated severe storms, more isolated severe storms in Omaha, Lincoln, and Waterloo in Des Moines, Iowa for Saturday. And then from Pittsburgh to Lynchburg. I don't know why that rhymes, but anyway, Pittsburgh to Lynchburg could find some isolated severe storms Saturday in dark green. I find it interesting. I don't have any rain on Saturday. I did kind of think maybe there could be around Cookeville. So Karen Robbins, you're watching. I know you're in Cumberland County, Fairfield, Glade. Anything that's west of Crossville, Cookeville, maybe western Fentress, maybe a spot shower for Saturday, but I don't see it in this view. I don't see it on the east side of town. I see it more on the west side. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but I think generally it's a quiet Saturday. Temperatures should be around 90 and much hotter. Given the dew points, it'll feel hotter than 90 with the heat index. Severe risk on Sunday extends from Lubbock back toward Tulsa, Wichita, Kansas City, but quiet here. So if you've got travel plans, or maybe you have family that's on their way to Norman and they'll be coming back on Sunday, weather should be pretty quiet once they get here. Meanwhile, Futurecast shows a front very slow moving. Shows it's quiet. There's really no green specks through 5 o'clock today. I'm not expecting much. And then that front drags its heels across Louisville, Kentucky on Saturday at 7 a.m. Maybe a few showers up there and maybe some activity in the Carolinas. But again, it's hit or miss there. Saturday, I think it's quiet through midday. Through the rest of the morning. On Sunday, quiet. I do think the pop-up shower, again, could make it to Cookeville. I don't think it's so much here. It's emphasized there between Bowling Green and Louisville. But I think it's drying up. This is, I think, it's just model noise. This front's going to be far enough north. It should, we should be immune from rain for this weekend. And then on Monday, it'll be spotty as we head into the afternoon. So it's now 6:57. Time to wrap things up. Here's your forecast. Mostly sunny, very warm, and 89 degrees. I want to leave some time for some comments. I know some of them are still coming in. But today, a high of 88 for Oak Ridge and Clinton, 89 for Seymour, Knoxville, South Knoxville, 87 for Morristown. 88 for Newport, 86 for Sevierville, Pigeon Forge. And our friends in Gatlinburg should be in the lower 80s. About 91, though, for Tellico Plains, 89 in Athens and McMinn County. Today, a high of 94. Are you kidding me? For Chattanooga, that's where Hamilton County should be. So if you're traveling in the Southern Valley, it will be gradually getting hotter. They could easily hit 95 today in Huntsville. And 94 for Nashville in Music City. Take that into consideration if you're on the road. Tonight we're down to 63, a bit sticky, mostly clear. Not too worried about fog tonight, but variable winds 0 to 5, 61 in Morristown, White Pine, Talbot, and Russellville. Our friends in Middlesboro and say Sneedville should be around 62 tonight. 63 for La Follette, Jacksboro, as well as Caryville, and 63 Oneida, Scott County. For low temperatures tonight, just a wee bit more humid than it's been. By the way, we look at this Captain Accurate 7-day forecast. The Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast, 90 on Saturday, 91 on Sunday. Keep in mind, with those dew points in the mid-60s, it's going to feel like the mid-90s on Sunday. Because you got a dew point 65, the actual temperature 91. It's going to feel like 95-ish. So again, keep in mind the heat index will not be what you gradually expect in late September, but that's where we are, right? We've now almost approached the third week of September. 90 again on Monday, 88 on Tuesday. That's our best chance of rain, and mostly sunny Wednesday. But you said it's going to cool down. Where's the horizon? The horizon is Wednesday night. You wake up Wednesday night, Thursday morning. Let's say you're up Thursday morning. We're down to about 56. That's not bad. And a high of only 81, and it may very well turn cooler in the days to follow after that. So keep in mind, it does swing the pendulum. The pendulum tends to swing from time to time. My friend Janet Potts says, ready for the higher temperatures to go away. She's ready for that cooler horizon. Have a great weekend, everyone. Go Big Orange. Thank you so much, Janet. Love seeing your comments there as well. Oh, and a little note, a good cautionary note. Wanda Post says, please don't burn. Be careful, it's so dry. Not too windy, but yeah, it is definitely dry. Take that into thought and consideration. But thank you, Wanda. Hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. If you haven't checked out my free Captain Accurate Weather app, I hope you'll download it. You'll not only get the temperatures and humidity where you are, but you'll get all the National Weather Service alerts plus 3 extras plus lightning alerts. And did I mention it's free? Well, I like free. For everybody, most people like free. And you get Pete Michaels traffic in addition to the weather that I provide. So you get weather and traffic perfect together, all in one-stop shop. One app does it all, and you get up to 16 locations. So if you're going to Vegas, you're going to Norman, you're going to the next destination on the next away game, you have access to get a 7-day forecast just like that. It's wonderful. And if you'd like to join us on Premium, the invitation is there, my friend. Our focus goes beyond the next 7 days. Some of you are planners. Not everybody. Some of you are like, I'm spontaneous. Okay, that's great. But some people like to know what kind of weather to expect beyond the next 7 days. That's our focus. Some of you are going to be thrilled if you're on Premium. You'll be the first to see my snow forecast. In fact, you'll be the only persons that see my winter weather outlook. You got to be on Premium. Last year, no big secret, no spoiler alert, I was calling for 8 to 12 inches of snow. How much did we get? 8.5. Some of you got 10. Some of you got 11, as I heard back from Facebook back in January around the Martin Luther King weekend. So if you're interested in getting on the Premium service, now's the time, my friend. My Premium members have a good idea of when that winter weather outlook is coming out. And it's not that far away. It's just weeks away. But first, to see my snow forecast, if you're a school teacher, this may be of high importance to you. Maybe not high importance to you right now, but once it turns colder, a lot of folks tend to have great interest in what yours truly is having to put out there. I wanted to just tell you, I put a lot of work into these forecasts. All forecasts are not created equal, but just join us on Facebook.com/become-supporter/Aldrich Weather. You can also hit the subscribe button at the top of this Facebook post. First to see every forecast, that's true. You also get more Facebook Lives being a Premium member, usually on Sunday, to help you plan for the week ahead. You're also getting fewer ads when you're on Premium, but it's only $4.99 a month. That's like the price of a cup of coffee or less, and it averages out to about 16 cents a day. We'd love to have you join us. Join us for this winter season. Some people are seasonal, like snowbirds. They go to Florida. Some people just join us on Premium for a couple of months, and that's fine too. Love to have you join us as we are getting to that time of year. Before you know it, it will be turning colder. Well, my name is David Aldrich. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate. Go Vols. Got my tie on, and we'll see you here next time. Take care.